Give me a second. And we're live. Anyways, how y'all doing? Of course, Tennessee wins 45-14. In this game, it was a tale of two halves. First half, offense is just clicking on all cylinders. Everything's going. Everything's rocking and rolling. But then it looks like Joe Milton got hit near the end of the second quarter. He got hit kind of low in his legs, and after that, I think he was 1-11 to start the second half. So he was white hot first half. He had like an 81-yard touchdown run, but then the second half, I don't know what happened. Like I said, maybe his knee was bothering him because I seen some underthrows. So I'm not going to put that completely on him. Just all of a sudden, just forgetting how to play football. I think that was just his knee was messed up, and is what it is. But Tennessee handles business 45-14. We move on to South Carolina. We focus on South Carolina. That's going to be a huge game. 7:30. My prediction is that we're going to break out those dark mode uniforms. We're going to break out them bad boys, and we're going to have fun. And I hope that Cooper can play next week, because I thought that he was going to be playing this week, and obviously he did not. My thoughts, like I said, overall, I thought we did good. I want to see Dylan Sampson out there a lot more. That guy's so explosive, runs really well. I don't know if there's some kind of off the field issue or something, but to me, it's a damn shame that guy did not get any touches against Florida. I think he could have helped tremendously. But again, that game's in the past. You just got to move on. And just focus on what you got coming up. And we have South Carolina this week, then we have a bye week, and then we got Texas A&M both at home. So, like I told everybody, don't give up on this team. I know we played bad against Florida last week, but teams should get better. And I liked how they came out swinging in that first half. I know it's UTSA, and I know they're not good, they're depleted, and they're UTSA. But I liked what I seen. I wanted to see that. I didn't want to see them coming out like how they did against Austin Peay and being sluggish and all that stuff. I really liked what I seen, and that makes me feel better going into next week, because I think they're going to come out and play like a team possessed next week. They want revenge for last year, getting absolutely embarrassed by South Carolina and knocking them out of the playoff. But I'll get y'all's thoughts once we get some more people in here. Of course, everybody right now is probably watching the Ohio State and Notre Dame game. However that game's going, I'm not even keeping up with it right now. But yeah, like I said, overall though, we handled business. There's things that I liked from what I've seen. I like seeing us get Nico in there. I wish they would have let him be a little more loose, not just handing the ball off most of the time. But hey, it's in the fourth quarter. They're probably like, listen, let's just get out of here. Let's focus on South Carolina. It is what it is. Let's get your thoughts. But like I said, though, I feel that, I know a lot of people's going to come out and talk about how the offense played lackluster in the second half. It is what it is. Just get out of there and handle your business. I don't care how you do it. And to me, until I see Cooper back at starting center, and we're not the only SEC team with offensive line questions. Alabama's got offensive line questions. And everybody thought Alabama's offensive line might have been the best in the country coming into this year because, oh, look how big they are. But it don't matter how big you are if you're playing like crap. So Everybody thought that. Georgia, they look pretty good. South Carolina's offensive line is horrible. Florida's offensive line, they look pretty decent. Uh, Vanderbilt's Vanderbilt. LSU's offensive line is looking good. Maybe one of y'all can update me on the LSU Arkansas game. Last I seen, Arkansas was up 3-0. But and that's early in the first quarter. But stats I seen was Joe Milton in the first half was 14 of 16. That's impressive. That's good. And like I said, I know everybody's going to say, "Oh, it's UTSA. It don't mean nothing. They're horrible. They're trash. They're no good." Still, to be accurate, that's what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to be this high level top tier quarterback, you're supposed to do that against the lower level teams. I mean, yeah, he wasn't out there. It's not like, yeah, he wasn't out there playing Georgia or Alabama or A&M or whoever. But still, the first half he handled business. Second half, I'm not putting that completely on him just being bad. I think, like I said, he looked like he came out there with a knee brace. So, like I said, maybe his knee was a little banged up because it looked maybe he couldn't put it all into his throws, and that's why he had some underthrows. Still, hey, like I said, Dylan Sampson, man, that I want that guy on the field a lot more. I want him on there a lot more. And to me, it's a shame that he hasn't been on the field that much this year. This is the first time he's really been featured all year. Like I said, he didn't play at all last week. He didn't get one touch, which makes no sense. It's looking like he might be, if he's not the number one running back in that room, he's number two, which I love our running back. To me, I think our running back room might be one of the best in the SEC. But, yeah, it is what it is. I want to get y'all's opinion. Y'all comment down there. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to be home every day and I can have an actual setup and all this stuff, and I'm not having to do this off a hotspot. And it might be coming out a little better. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm having some connection issues because it keeps kind of going in and out. Yeah. Uh, Other takeaways. First half defense looked really good. I thought overall they looked pretty good. I know there was a couple drives where it looked like they couldn't tackle. That's such a shocker. But overall, I thought they handled their business. But we'll see more next week because next week we'll get probably the biggest test of our offense so far this season. The biggest test of our defense so far this season. Spencer Rattler, say what you want about him, but that dude has been, that guy's been dealing. And we shall see. Other takeaways from the rest of the country. Uh, I knew Colorado was going to get destroyed. I was predicting that. Um, Oregon looks for real. They look like possibly might be the best or second best team in the Pac-12. Uh, look like Washington State. I mean, it's like they're handling their business against Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin, Oregon State. I'm sorry, I just came from the bar. I was watching the game up there, so forgive me. But yeah, I mean, all I could really say is that I want to see more consistency. I want to see that first half Joe Milton through a whole game. I want to see it against tougher competition. I don't want to see that just against the nobody cupcakes. Like, he's going to have to do that all year. Can he do it? I don't know. We'll find out. This is going to be his real test. This is going to be his real test. And he's got the talent to do it. He's got the arm talent to do it. But it's, can he not be in his own way? And I think if we build off what we did in that first half, we can still finish the season really strong. I mean, watching the rest of the SEC so far, I mean, outside of really that Georgia game, we could win every single game on that schedule. I mean, South Carolina, their defense is horrible. Their offensive line is horrible. All they got really is Spencer Rattler. Uh, and their top offensive target, God, I'm forgetting his name. Somebody in the comments to remind me what. Uh, yeah, they lost Juice Wells. He's Florida State. By the way, huge win today for them, for the Seminoles. They solidified themselves atop the ACC. God, his name's slipping me. He got injured in the Georgia game. He's out. I think he's out for the year, or he's at least going to be out for our game next week. But like I said, in Texas A&M, you know, don't know about that one. Alabama, their defense looks good, but their offense looks horrible. Their offense just looks bad. Kentucky, again, we should win that one, but it's in Lexington, and historically, they always give us a fit in Lexington. They always play us tough. Uh, After that, you got UConn. That's a warm-up game, and then you got Mizzou at Missouri. That could be tough. And then, of course, you got Georgia at home, and then you got Vanderbilt to finish the year. So I think if they get it together, because they look better today than they have so far this season. And it seems like with Heupel's teams, it takes to about week 4, week 5 for the offense to really start clicking. As you look in 21, which that 21 team was not that great, but I think they were great for what they had. I mean, I think they overachieved. I mean, that year nobody was even predicting Tennessee to even make a bowl game. Like, everybody said, oh, they're probably going 4-8, 3-9. They're so depleted. But he pulled a bowl game out of his rear end. Um, you know, so I mean, who knows? I think I think the next couple weeks, or the next three games is going to really be the telltale sign of Tennessee going forward the rest of the year. The same way, you get South Carolina at home. That's a revenge game. That's a game to really get up for. And I know the fans are going to be out for blood in that game. That might be the best environment all year. Either that or the Georgia game. It's going to be a hostile environment for South Carolina. I honestly feel sorry for Spencer Rattler, what he's going to be walking into, because he's been playing great so far this year. and then you get a bye week. Then you got Texas A&M coming to town, and they're a good team. They got tons of talent. It's just we don't know what they're going to be. I mean, they proved me wrong today. I had Auburn winning in a close one. I had, I think, like 28-24 or something like that. But their defense shut down Auburn, which Auburn's got their issues. And then we go on the road to Alabama. That's going to be a tough game. Tough game. And then after that, you go on the road to Kentucky. And again, like I said, going back to even in the 90s, even back when Peyton Manning and Joey Kent, Marcus Nash, T. Martin, Peerless Price, all these, legendary Tennessee players were here. That was always like a one-possession game in Lexington. It's all like, for some weird reason with Kentucky, like we play them at Neyland, we'll beat them by 50, but then we go to Lexington and they keep it within one score. Like no matter how good or bad either team is, it's always a close game in Lexington. So their next 3 or 4 games is going to really determine Tennessee's season. Because to me, if they win their next 2 games and you go into Alabama with only 1 loss and the offense is just starting to click and they're getting it going, the defense is holding up, playing good, all of a sudden that Alabama game gets a lot more interesting. I mean, right now it's looking most likely Tennessee's probably 9-3. And here's the thing, I wouldn't be mad about that. I mean, most people coming into the season said that, Tennessee's probably not going to be as good as they were last year because, people talk about us losing Hendon, losing Jalen. To me, the 2 biggest losses were not either a wide receiver or quarterback. To me, the 2 biggest losses were Darnell Wright and Javonte Spraggins, our left guard and our right tackle. Because you can see the glaring issue on the offense. It ain't the receivers. It ain't quarterback. It's offensive line. Just like last week when I heard Tennessee fans talking about, oh, well, put Nico in there, put Nico in there. Yeah, and get him killed, he'll get murdered. Because you got to think he's a true freshman. And they're not going to put a true freshman out there unless they just absolutely have to. Like, I don't think you're going to see Nico starting this year unless they just absolutely have to start him. I think they're trying to get, and I don't think it's anything against him because, like I said, he's a true freshman. You can't expect a true freshman to come out there and just dominate. There's only one quarterback I've ever seen do that, and that was Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence, at least when he was coming out of high school and when he was at Clemson, was a generational quarterback. I mean, most quarterbacks are not going to come in and immediately lead your team to a national championship and blow out a dominant Alabama team. That just don't happen. So, I mean, hell, look in '94, Tennessee came off a great year where they went 10-2, had a Heisman finalist quarterback in Heath Shuler, lost some talent, but they had a great recruiting class. And all I said, the '94 recruiting class, that was Tennessee had a number 1 class, including Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning started playing, I think, around week 5, week 6, and we'd already lost a few games because the quarterback play was just not there. And they put Peyton in, and he wasn't ready yet. He wasn't. And then he comes out the next year, and he's just on fire, and he's on fire until he goes to the NFL. So all the Tennessee fans that want Nico in there, just be patient. If we don't win 10 games this year, don't consider the season a failure. Because look 3-4 years down the road. Don't look at right now. I mean, right now, we're not the best team in the SEC. We're not the best team in the country. I know a lot of Tennessee fans had high hopes coming into the season, including myself. my preseason prediction was I had Tennessee at 11-1, would have lost to Georgia because I was thinking, well, yeah, we don't have Hendon, we don't have Jalen, but I feel like we're a more well-rounded team with more depth than what we had last year. And I still think we can be that. But again, we'll just have to see as the season plays out. You know, and we'll find out. And we'll see as the season goes on. I mean, for all we know, that Florida game woke Tennessee up. Because you look at the first half, Tennessee came out and they were just clicking, and Milton had an 81-yard touchdown run on the first play. I love that. I want to see more of that. Some more actual design QB runs, because a lot of people don't realize Joe Milton's fast. He can run. He just hates getting hit. That's why he don't like running, because he just don't like getting tackled, which I understand. No human being likes getting hit. But that was my takeaways from today. I seen some of that fire. Now, the second half, they came out and played sluggish. Is what it is. Just get out of there with a win. You won 45-14. You covered the spread. Is what it is. You move on. Now we got South Carolina coming to town. Revenge game. You go out there and you handle your business. And that against that, like if you beat them by a similar score to what we just did today, then all of a sudden everybody's going, oh, wait, maybe Tennessee just had a bad game. And I've been saying that since last week, that maybe Tennessee just had a bad game at Florida. Maybe they had a bad game plan, because Heupel said it himself. He said, well, I thought we'd be able to move the ball better. I didn't think we was going to have to, use hand signals and stuff like that, which, again, that goes back to coaching. You have to know when you're going into a road environment like that, you need to practice that. So that goes more on the coaching staff. But I'm hoping that woke the team up last week, and now going forward, they can say, look how we played there. We're not going to play like that. We're a better team than that. We've got the talent to go do great things. Let's go do it. Like, the team's not, listen, we control our own destiny to get to Atlanta. Do I think we're going to get there? No. But could we do it? Absolutely. Look at, is there any team in the SEC that just looks dominant? Maybe we in the comments can say a team in the SEC that just looks dominant. Georgia didn't look dominant. They haven't looked dominant all year. And yeah, their defense is their defense, but their offense has been very suspect. Same thing, basically the same thing with Alabama, except their offense, I think, is way worse. And I think Ole Miss is a little overhyped. Everybody's talking about them, but I just don't think. I mean, Ole Miss is getting pushed around by Tulane. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. That's the beauty of college football. We'll see. You don't know about any team. Like if you told me 2 years ago that Oklahoma State would have got absolutely destroyed by South Alabama, not Alabama, South Alabama, the Jaguars down in Mobile. If you'd have told me 2 years ago, oh, when South Alabama goes to Oak State, they're going to blow them out, I said, yeah, Oklahoma State will blow them out because they're a Group 5 team. And then somebody would say, oh no, I mean South Alabama's going to blow out Oklahoma State. I would have said you're crazy. But that's how much football can change in such a short time. I mean, did this probably calm down a lot of Alabama fans today? No. Because I listened to them a lot on Twitter today, and even though they won, they talked about just how bad they looked. They're like, we're lucky our defense is worth crap. Because if it wasn't, we wouldn't have won. So that's my whole moral to the story, is that Tennessee is absolutely not out of any race. They're not out of the playoff. They're not out of the playoff race. They're not out of the SEC East. Are they going to do it? Most likely not, but the possibility is there. It's a long season. That's why I'm saying don't write off any teams. And same thing with Alabama. Maybe Alabama figures it out on offense, and all of a sudden they just go on a tear. We don't know. We've seen them do it. It wouldn't be that shocking. And then, who knows? And that's the beauty of college football. That's why I've been saying the last few weeks, this year feels like 2007. This just feels like one of those years where it's just seems so even through all of college football. It just seems so even. Like there's so many good teams. And that's why to me it's so sad to see, for example, like, the Pac-12 is so good right now. I think everybody just overlooks that. The Pac-12 right now, for my money, is the best conference in college football right now. The Pac-12, because you got so many good teams over there. And to me, it's a damn shame that the powers that be and the money handlers and these TV executives are like, hey, look, let's kill this conference and let's just put them in the Big Ten where they're going to be, just in the middle of the pack. Because if you think that Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA is going to go to the Big Ten and all of a sudden they're still going to be a top 10 team, you're out of your mind. A lot of people don't realize travel is a huge thing. Teams don't do well when they got to travel 3,000 miles for a road game every week. But that's a topic. That's another topic for another day. Everybody knows my opinions on conference realignment. I hate it. To me, it kills the sport. But anyways, like I said, Tennessee handled business 45-14. They did what they're supposed to do. Was it pretty at times? No. Did they look perfect? No, there was things I wish that they could have done better, but that's literally every game I've ever watched, like where I've said, man, they should have done this or they should have done that. That happens in every game. You're never going to see a truly just perfect game. I mean, there were points left on the board. But Tennessee, I think, can really bounce back off that Florida game next week. If they go out and play really motivated and just destroy South Carolina, like say beat them 41-10, something like that, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a good game. But if they do something like that and just come out and just manhandle them, all of a sudden Tennessee's right back in that conversation. Like, damn, maybe they are a good team. Because as I said earlier, I think it's two things. Number one, I think Tennessee just played bad at Florida. They underestimated them. They played bad. And number two, maybe Florida, to what nobody wants to say, maybe Florida is a little bit better than what people thought. Because that game they played against us, if they play like that against Georgia, they'll beat them. I'm calling that right now. Do I think they're going to beat Georgia? No. That's asinine to think. But do I think they can? Absolutely. I mean, with how good their defense played against us and how suspect Georgia's offense is right now, I mean, who's to say that they couldn't pull that off? I mean, it's a rivalry game. It's a big game. And how much of a statement would Billy Napier love to have than to go out there and beat the two-time defending national champions? So we'll see on that. Man, I'll tell you what, I had more views last week. Man, it's like when Tennessee loses, I get more viewers. If we win and we look good, nobody cares. But it's okay. I don't care if I got one people or if I don't care if I got one person in here, no people or 100 people. I'm here for y'all. I'm not out here whoring for super chats and all that stuff. I do this because I love doing it. I don't care. Listen, this is not my job. I have a job. I do this on the side because I want to do it. But I appreciate y'all coming on here. And always make sure you go subscribe to my channel, go subscribe to the SEC channel, go subscribe to Mark's channel. The links will be down there once this is done. Go join the Patreon, go join the Discord and all that stuff. Make sure y'all go do that. Go support guys like Uncle Lou, BVD, Joey Foster, of course myself. Also shout out to Joey Foster for setting me up with this. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I always appreciate that man. He does the Lord's work. By the way, shout out to West Virginia. They had a big win today. They dominated. It's good to see. Fortunately, then last week I don't think they got the win, but still they look good today. But yeah, Vic 2, Slim Shady Canes, Caroline Jackpot, Talking Balls. Go Sport Talk J. Go subscribe to all those guys because we're independent. We're not big media. We're not, we don't have these big budgets like ESPN or Fox or NBC. We don't have these millions or billions of dollar corporations, backing us like that. A lot of these people spend their own money to get the equipment to go do this. Like me right now, I'm doing this in a truck on a laptop that I bought for $100 with a $40 gaming headset. And I'm doing this right now, bringing this to you people. You don't have to go out here and spend a lot of money. I mean, yeah, if you want to go out here and buy a $2,000 microphone and have this gaming computer and this huge setup, spending thousands of dollars, go ahead. That's your right. You can do that if you want to. But me personally, I'm not going to spend that kind of money because it doesn't matter how much money you spend if your content is not any good. But sorry, I was looking at something. But like I said though, I think this is going to be a fun season to watch. But anyways, obviously the viewership wasn't going to be that much tonight. But anyways, we'll do it next week for South Carolina. I might even do the day before. I might do a day before stream so we can get the feelings up for that one. And we can see how everybody in Vol Nation's feeling about it. Anyways, good talking to you guys. Y'all have a good night and God bless.